Greetings gamers, it's Bennett Ring here from Games.on.net at EA's pre-GDC event. And the event of the week has been the unveiling of Battlefield 3. And we're sitting here with Carl, who has a very complicated long name, who works for DICE. So Carl, what's your actual full name?
My name is Carl Magnus Truedsson.
Right, and what is your role at DICE?
Nowadays I'm the general manager of DICE.
Now we've heard that Battlefield and Bad Company are two very different things to you guys. What does that actually mean other than jets and 64 players?
Well, a lot has to do with that we now felt that we were ready to make a real sequel to Battlefield 2. With Bad Company 1 we introduced the franchise to next-gen console. With Bad Company 2 we introduced co-op, we introduced single player and these kind of things. We felt that now was the time to put all of that together and make a proper sequel to 2005's Battlefield 2.
So saying that, how was Bad Company not a proper sequel?
Well, it was different because we introduced single player. We had like this, don't call it slapstick, but more humorous touch to it. So the tone was very much different, and that's what we're changing now. The biggest change from Battlefield Bad Company 2 to Battlefield 3 will be the tone in the game, definitely.
Now, a lot of PC gamers who grew up on Battlefield think multiplayer. Why did you feel compelled to include a lengthy 12-hour single-player campaign for Battlefield 3?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, it's important to understand every game that we do in the Battlefield series is based around the multiplayer. I would argue this at least. Why do we need single player? Why do we need co-op? It's because naturally we want to introduce more people to our franchise, because a lot of people don't want to jump straight into multiplayer. They want to feel around a bit and then they're ready to move over to online. The hardcore online people, they don't care, they just straight in. Maybe they don't even touch the campaign, but we want to get more people invite more people into the franchise, and that's one of the main big reasons why we have these different parts of the game, so to say.
BF2, BF 1942, to master a vehicle, especially the flying vehicles, was quite complicated. What's the approach for BF3?
Well, we want it to be accessible. There's one vehicle that is always the main challenge here, and that's the helicopter, because the helicopter is a very complex vehicle to fly in real life. We want everyone to be able to fly, but we still want it to have a certain element of skill in there when you fly it. But it will be a proper balance between authenticity, skill, and then accessibility. But this goes into everything that we do. We design things for having like an easy entry, and then a lot of depth and the complexity that you can find along the way the more you play with it.
So a major design decision you made for Bad Company was no prone. Got rid of it for 2 games. Coming back for Battlefield 3, why the original decision to remove it, and why bring it back?
Well, it was hard to ignore the outcry from the community here. I would definitely say like the return of jets and the return of prone is definitely just, we have listened to the community straight off. Basically it comes down to, well, we wanted to bring it back, but we also know that there's a lot of hassle that comes with something like that, both visually quality wise, but also balancing. How do you handle that sniper up on a hill in the grass, lying down?
He thinks he's in the grass, but if the grass doesn't draw far enough and out. So will it draw all the way out this time around in BF3?
But this is the kind of problems that we need to fix naturally and look into. But that's the thing with introducing prone brings these kind of problems, because that was one of the reasons that we didn't have prone in Bad Company. It was like, well, if you lie down, it's in the grass or it's not in the grass or whatever it might be, problems.
So do you have a solution yet?
Not yet, and I'm definitely not the right man to answer the rendering question solutions here.
Now, Bad Company 2, again, on the sniping subject, you would think a sniper would be a small part of the battlefield. It tends to be a very favoured class. Any ideas on how you're going to bring that back a little, or you don't think it's a problem?
Well, actually, I mean, we have very distinct telemetry data from our games, so then we know that the amount of time people spend with different classes is very evenly spread, actually. It's very evenly spread. But everyone talks about the snipers because, a lot of people really love to play sniper, and a lot of people love to hate them. So there's a love-hate relationship in between there. But it's just going to come down to how do you balance these things, How do you make sure that there's always a counter to something? And it might be hard to kill that sniper, but every bullet you manage to get into him, he will like shake and lose his sight and these kind of things.
Now, don't get me wrong, Battlefield is my favourite shooter of all time. What do you think it will take for it to be the number one rather than number two?
We always say that we're never better than the last game that we just did. Meaning that every time that we launch a new game, we ask ourselves, what can we do better? What can we make faster, better, more fun? So first and foremost, we always compete with ourselves. That's a very important distinction I like to make. But we know that there's the competitors they're out there, they're established, and they're very, very big. I believe that the tools that we have at hand is based around Frostbite 2.
Right.
We get a technology leap on them. We believe that they are not innovating, that they are treading water. We believe that we are investing our time, energy, and money in actually innovating. I believe that the sheer weight of Battlefield 3, the blockbuster weight of single-player, co-op, and multiplayer in the base product, that's definitely something that's going to help us compete as well. And then just the overall quality of the game.
Yeah. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you.